So you're thinking about moving to Duluth, Georgia. Well, before you make any decisions, you need to hear both sides. Today, I'm breaking down the real pros and cons of living in Duluth. No fluff, no sales pitch, just honest information so you can decide if this is actually the right move for you. We've got 4 pros and 4 cons. So stick around to the end because one of these cons is something many people don't find out about until after they've already signed. My name is Rick DeShields with Peace of Mind Real Estate Agency, brokered by Legacy South Real Estate Group right here in Metro Atlanta. My job is to help you make an informed decision, not a pressured one. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with the pros. The real reason people are moving to Duluth and loving it. I've got 4 for you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat or oversell on any of them. Just the honest picture. First up, Duluth sits about 25 miles north of Atlanta, and that positioning matters. You get genuine suburban space, real neighborhoods, parks, room to breathe, while still being close enough to tap into everything the city offers. The I-85 corridor connects you to Atlanta, Peachtree Corners, Alpharetta, and Suwanee without much difficulty on a normal day. And if you work remotely, this whole area becomes even more attractive. You get the space without the sacrifice. Okay, pro number 2. This one genuinely surprises people. Duluth has one of the most diverse food scenes in all of Metro Atlanta. You're talking Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Mediterranean, Cuban, and more, all within a short drive. In fact, the Korean food culture here is so well established that people drive from all over Atlanta just to eat in Duluth. If you enjoy exploring different cuisines, this is a legitimate quality of life win that not many suburbs can match. The third thing people love about Duluth, and we talked about this on the community tour, but it deserves a spot on the pros list. Downtown Duluth and the town green create a community feel that's genuinely rare in suburban Atlanta. Free events year-round, local restaurants and shops, a walkable downtown core, it gives the city a personality. For people relocating from areas with a strong sense of neighborhood and community, Duluth checks that box in a way a lot of other suburbs simply don't. And the fourth one might be my favorite. Duluth has a violent crime rate that runs lower than the national average. That's a consistent data point across multiple sources, and it matters for families and anyone prioritizing peace of mind where they live. And on the outdoor side, Shorty Howell Park alone gives you a lake, walking trails, sports fields, and green space. The Gas South Arena and District are nearby for concerts and events. There's genuinely a lot to do right here without driving far. Okay, now let's talk about the other side, the cons. And I'm going to be just as honest here. Traffic is a real factor in Duluth. I-85 runs along the western edge of the city, and it's one of the most heavily traveled corridors in Gwinnett County. Morning southbound congestion on that stretch has been documented at nearly 11 miles on weekdays. And it's not just the highway. Several of the major surface roads see significant backup during peak hours as well. Georgia DOT and Gwinnett County are actively studying improvements along the corridor. So there's awareness that this needs to be addressed. But right now, if you're commuting into Atlanta during rush hour, build that extra time into your planning. This one is consistent across most of Gwinnett County, and Duluth is no exception. Public transportation options here are limited. If you rely on transit to get around, or you're coming from a city where not having a car is a realistic option, that changes in Duluth. This is a car-dependent area. That's not a deal breaker for most people relocating here, but it's worth being honest about up front so there are no surprises. Duluth has become more desirable over the last several years, and home prices reflect that. Based on current MLS data, the middle of the market in Duluth is generally running in the 400s, and depending on the neighborhood and home type, prices move well above that. For first-time buyers especially, that can create a real affordability challenge. Entry-level options do still exist, but that inventory moves quickly and competition can be real. If budget is a primary factor for your search, it's worth having an honest conversation about what's realistic in Duluth versus neighboring cities that might offer more flexibility. Okay, I told you one of these cons is something people often don't find out about until after they sign. Well, here it is. A significant number of communities in Duluth, they're governed by homeowners associations, and HOA fees, they vary widely. Some are minimal, others, particularly in amenity-rich communities, can run several $100s a month on top of your mortgage. When you're calculating what you can afford in Duluth, that monthly HOA number, it needs to be part of the conversation from day one, not something you discover at the closing table. It can meaningfully shift your true monthly cost, and a lot of buyers, they don't factor it in early enough. That's exactly the kind of thing I walk through with buyers before they ever start searching. Because peace of mind in the process, it starts with knowing the full picture up front. So there you have it, 4 honest pros and 4 honest cons of living in Duluth, Georgia. At the end of the day, whether Duluth is the right fit depends on your priorities, your budget, and what you're actually looking for in a community. My job isn't to make that decision for you, it's to make sure you have what you need to make it yourself. If you're thinking about relocating to the Metro Atlanta area and you want clarity before you commit to anything, that's exactly what I help people do. No pressure, no rush, just honest guidance. My contact information is in the description below. If this video helped you, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who's weighing a move to Georgia. I'll see you in the next one.